face, isn't alright. The world is going through a sunshine phase, isn't alright. Yes, sir. See the people looking out for lookers. You can be so rich and you can be so poor. You're gonna take a sunshine time. Oh yeah, man. Look at the lookers and see what they're doing. Sunshine face, sunshine face, sunshine face, sunshine face. Oh yes. Take what you want, take what you got. Let me have it. Oh, you're gonna have it all right. And you're gonna see. Oh, when the sunshine fades. Take it away, boy. Sunshine, sunshine.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to a Tony Commander Galpohkpa talk show. Today is November the 24th. Let us get into my program. It's another day. Here are my topics for the day. Liberia's former Associate Justice, Kabina Jane, talks. Number 2, is ignorance or corruption the major killer in Liberia's society? And 3, justice, equality, rules. Good morning, my people. Before I begin my lesson this morning, I want to take some time to extend my thanks and appreciation to President Donald Trump for finally coming to the realization that nothing he can do would change the outcome of the American people's vote. Nothing he does can overturn the legitimate election of America and our system of constitutional democracy. There's no evidence there was any corruption. There was no any evidence that there were any falsehood or any kind of thing done to betray the trust of the American people in our system of democracy. Nothing. So wasting the money of his supporters to have Rudy Giuliani running all over the country, say he filing lawsuit. Giuliani is obsolete. He ancient. And either we realize this and take the necessary steps to rectify the mistakes this man has caused, this regime, or the sufferings that have been brought upon the American people. We got to set things right in our country. America is not a country of disruption and confusion. No, we're not. And it's in our best interest to lay the law down and lay the foundation that we have existed on for nearly 400 years. And no one man in this nation can come overnight and try to overturn the decisions of the American people. We can't tolerate that. Neither will God permit that to persist in this country, especially when the leadership of America bases its hegemony of the American people and society on their beliefs in Jesus Christ, the only Son of the living God. He's not a God to joke with. He's not a God to play with. And I hope this sends a clear message to Donald Trump and his children that America is a nation of rules, of laws that must be obeyed. We are a nation of customs and traditions that have existed from the founding of this nation, despite our faults, despite our backwardness in our thinking and our ideals to raise this country to a next level. We feel, yes, but it's never too late to start rectifying our mistakes, to start setting our standard right, especially if America is a nation of laws. So it behooves us to stand up and exemplify what our nation and people mean to the world and especially to ourselves. Charity begins at home. Aluta! Let's get into my lesson. Okay, the big news on the internet now is British Radio's interview with former Associate Justice of the Republic of Liberia, Kabina M. Jane. Okay, and I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to British Radio, the golden voice of Liberia, the giant of the microphone, Mr. Ashford, the man Gali, and his sidekick, Fukino Shelton, who really drilled our Associate Justice this morning, or last night. Well, okay, I watched it this morning, but I cracked up laughing and everything because it was so funny at some time. But these guys did not leave any stones unturned. Some of the questions they asked Jenna, myself, I was laughing, cracking up laughing because he hesitated to answer it. I said, hey, look, he himself couldn't believe that these guys were asking those kind of questions. Were you involved in stealing? Did you take bribe? Did you finance the war? And one other question they ask him, another question they keep asking questions. So you know the guy didn't hesitate to ask questions. And this is what democracy about. If you don't do it, say you didn't do it. But if you did it, we'll kind of find out you say you didn't do it, you did it, then that's another problem. And this is the problem we are facing in our country. This is the problem we are facing in our country. And it can't persist. It can't go on. So, here was Jenna, and they were asking him all these questions. Let me get into my notes. Okay. First of all, coming from the Associate Justice, the former Associate Justice of Liberia, he indicates clearly, unambiguously, without a doubt, that ignorance is a serious problem in the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Leadership is a serious problem in the leadership of the West African Republic of Liberia. And it all stems on ignorance. Our country cannot survive when the people that hold our country up and set standards of law and order, discipline, punitive measures against those who violate our laws are the very people breaking the law because of their ignorance and or corruption. And I will get into all of that, the difference, because we got to dissect our society. And whether you hit me or not, I got to bring it loud and clear to you so you can sit down and join me in the analysis of our society, our people. So when we understand these things and we judge them, not from personal feelings or sentiments, but objectively to help our country, to raise the consciousness of our children today so we do not fail tomorrow. We have failed too long. And that's why I'm coming to you as who I am. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. And you know, from Liberia, this has been my plight all my life, police and soldier. So it's not strange to you that I followed my path. It shouldn't be strange to you that I took steps that were necessary, not only for my own life, but for all of us. It was God divine. I didn't come to this country to be a soldier. No, I came to pursue my legal training because that all my mind was set on after my father was killed. My dreams of going abroad to further my education in policing was shattered. My opportunities, even in my own country, to serve my military was shattered. They took that opportunity and gave it to the Sato boys to go and train to come back. So my only option was to go to school. There were no other opportunities for me in Liberia. So they said, well, let him go to school. He's smart enough. We'll see if we'll make it or not. So I took the chance. And God was with me. I made it. Because we are all inherently blessed with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, or the paths to find these blessings. And if we concentrate on wealth and material things, God will not give it to us. He will not. Because his path is in the people. His power rests in the people. And it behooves all Christians to evaluate yourselves. Look at the man in the mirror. Because if you're selfish and thinking only about yourself, you cannot serve the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm not a holy man. That's just the facts. And these are I'm seeking from experiences, or as my enemies were destroyed me a long time ago. Long time ago. But the will of God persists for those who understand and seek understanding of Jesus Christ. And once you understand those things, you cannot say Jesus Christ is not the living Son of God. Because you, just as you cannot say Muhammad is a great prophet, you cannot say it. Because no man owns the truth or the truth to himself. You got to seek and find, knock that it open, ask that it be given. And if you don't pursue those three paths, seek, knock, ask, you're losing your mind, thinking that you're all powerful and almighty. No, this world is too great, man. This whole wide world, we cannot be the only people controlling this world. Look at the earth. Look at our advancement to the moon, to have space stations up there. And the people up there seeing space as alien ships and all those things too. Because we're not the only people occupying this big, wide universe and all of its galaxies and Earths. We can't. We don't even understand the vast nature of the universe. We don't. So we just let children just starting to learn. And if all of us on this earth can sit down and look at this vast thing above us called skies and look at the vast oceans that we can't see beneath, and you think we're the only people occupying the skies and the ocean, you must be dreaming and thinking like Donald Trump. Okay? So let's get into my lesson. And these are the things I bring it back to us. So when we see our country and our people, we understand that the blessings rest within us. And our leaders are not cognizant of the fact that these are the essences that make us who we are. They will fail as our leaders time and time again because of ignorance, greed, materialism, and corruption. Because any man that seeks absolute power is absolutely corrupt. Because you own everything. So there's no way any man who seeks absolute power under a democratic ruling system can be legal. You can't be legal because our democratic system rests on the people. The people are the owner of this system. It's through the people this system is born. And if our leaders do not understand this thing, if our leaders come to power under a democratic constitutional system of leadership and think that we can consistently put our interests before the interests of the people, we fail time and time again, and our God will never bless us because every time we take an oath to lead our country, it's on the Bible. Even if it's on the Quran. Those are the three great religions of the world. And all of us have the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as the foundation of our faith. And the only thing that distinguishes us from each other is our cultures, our histories, and our existence and coexistences with people who are our neighbors and are other people of distant lands. So that's why Jesus Christ himself never disparaged any other religion. And how would I do that? when the three great religions rest on the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So for all of us who condemn Christianity or condemn Islam or condemn Judaism, we are idiots because we do not have the wisdom, knowledge, nor the power to condemn anything that is related to the divine. And this is the same thing we face in Liberia because when I come to teach you, I'm coming from the roots of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm coming from the foundation of where our faith, where our country's societal ideal of the foundation of leadership rests. And in Liberia, our culture rests on the divine. And there's no way we can change it. So here's Kabina Jana telling us that our whole system of government is rotting. When the Chief Justice can connive with the legislature, two independent branches, to punish and associate justice of an independent branch of government on the law, on his actions, that even the legislature can't challenge because they never pass a law. The charges they impeach this man on because he denied them the right and he wanted to know. He prohibited them, he stopped them from adding a 25-cent tax per gallon on the heads of the Liberian people who are already suffering and being betrayed and bamboozled because of the very leaders they repose their trust and confidence in. The very people come back to rob them and tell them all the time to support their excesses, their greed, their womanizing, their corruption, and the evil in the Liberian society. They come and tell, I'm checking my voice thing because I got a recording I want you to hear too. So it fell. So I just wanted to make sure it was back in part. But if these people who repose our trust and confidence in can be the very people to be our enemies because of their greeds and excesses and womanizing and dope smoking and all these kind of things, there's a serious problem in our country that this leadership needs to account to the Liberian people now. The former Chief Justice even said that he cannot work under the current Chief Justice Francis Kwakpo. He can't work under him because the man is immoral. He's corrupt. And he's irreparable. So this is the place where our government has come to. And Johnny has taken his case to ECOWAS. And another thing, these boys on British Radio, Shelton and Gali asked him, who paid your fees in the court? And what he said, free of charge. Why? Because Liberians, patriotic lawyers, Ghanaian lawyers, Nigerian lawyers gave him pro bono service, free service. The guys in charge wants them. They too are tired where they want to be dictators and criminal bandits and crooks ruling West Africa. We got to clean up our nations. We got to remove these corrupt, useless leaders who are criminals and bandits and violating the constitutional democratic rule of laws in West African nations. Because if we can't stand up together and fight these evil people in Africa, what's the use of the ECOWAS? What's the use of the OAU or the AU, which we're changing back to the OAU? What's the use of all these things? And just as Jenna said, We got people we have rules and laws and judges that have stood up against the system. But our system is so corrupt. Our people are so misled with tribalism and greed and nepotism and negative and materialism too. They don't look at the essence of what is happening in our country, but they follow family, they follow friends, associates that want to take control our country, and especially the money and resources of our people. This cannot go on. This cannot go on. So these people, we are government them, holding us hostages. They are holding us hostages against the rule of law, against the standard of leadership and decency in the Republic of Liberia. You know, and these things are killing us. But you know what? These are just the beginning of the examples that have existed long before your king. But it's just that it hasn't been so blatant and all right in our faces. The corruption, the dysfunctional leadership, the stealing, everything. I mean, there's no hiding. It's just a bam, take it or leave it. And we've been through this for too long. We've been through this for over 40 years now. For over 40 years. And our warlord, Nobel Peace Prize, Queen, brought all of this upon us. She brought the war. We forgave her. You elected her. Then she brought her whole family into our government. Rip our country off. We don't deserve that. No one person owns Liberia. No one family has a right to deplete our resources in the bank and our natural resources. No one family has that authority over the Liberian people. And that's why we want to punish Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Because from 1980, she wanted to be the first president. She wanted to be the first warlord. Everything this woman had to be the first. Nothing wrong with that. I applaud her for having that kind of ambition. But you cannot hang millions of people's lives in the survival of our sovereignty on your family's desire to rule, on your desire to be the first in everything. That's over ambition. And when you get there, you get scared and depend on your family. That fear had that woman doing that kind of thing. She couldn't trust the very Liberian people that propelled her to the leadership of our country. So because of fear and perhaps wanting to succeed because her family highly educated. So she put all of it, but it was basically fear too. And depending on family instead of the Liberian people. You can't take the instrumentality of the people of Liberia and turn it into your family protective services. You can't do that. Or your family expertise, family association. You can't do that. Our country for all of us. Then you be selective in your leadership, knowing people who will not stand for the thing you're doing, and you don't bring them in the government to help you. That's stealing. That's stealing. And that's why Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is to blame for what happening, because George Weah is an idiot. The former Associate Justice said, our country is ruled by ignorant idiots. And as long as they stay over us, we're not going nowhere. But we don't want war. We don't want killings like they're doing to our people. No, there are constitutional ways to demand that this government comes down. There are lawful constitutional ways that we can demand that George Weah step down now. We are a constitutional democratic nation, and there are rules under democracy that gives us the people the right to stand up against an ignorant, against a highly corrupt, against a greedy, and against a murderous regime that wants to enhance itself above the laws of the Liberian people to be a dictatorial regime. That cannot and must not happen in the West African Republic of Liberia. We have been through 14 years of civil war that killed 250,000 of our people. We have been through Ebola that killed almost 100,000 of our people. We don't know how many people Ebola killed. And yet, our leaders pay themselves excessive amounts of our money without any compulsion or thoughts of the lives and sufferings of the masses of the Liberian people. How can we continually put our lives in the hands of these corrupt people who have no love for us or our nation? Liberia was built by patriots. Liberia was built by men and women who felt an obligation to all Liberian people. So, what is this new thing about Liberia now? Let me get into my second lesson because Jana has already told us. He said he didn't steal. He said he didn't finance the war. He said he didn't get bribed. He said the people lie on him for his own property. And they didn't even charge him with all of that. They think they charge him with issuing a writ to prohibit criminal action against Liberian people. Because until you pass a tax law, you cannot impose a tax on the Liberian people. And this where the ignorant people think this is a tribal government, where they can just sit down and say, yeah, and the law passed. This is not that kind of government. This is not that kind of government. A government where everybody dance in bumbo, bumbo, that's something that little thing you tie between your leg and tie around you. That's why people used to wear longer ago. They call it bumbo. They put on no bumbo, then they start dancing. And that is the same thing you're doing today. Muya, 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 cha cha, muya, 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 la 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 la, talabojojo. We tired with that thing, man. I mean, as a military man, we got to do it. Us military people, because that what empowers us when we come into kick, you know what. But for our nation and our little children to run around talking about the militants and run around, muya, 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 instead of being in school, you people will pay for it all. Y'all will pay for it. Now let me get to my second lesson. Because there's so many young Liberian children in America, in Liberia, in Germany, in Europe, all of them are the same Europe, in Asia, in anywhere else. There's something. I started a Jake Milton in Germany, in Europe. Okay, but let's get back to my lesson now. Okay, so some of you young people got to learn about Liberia that y'all don't know about. And y'all don't have the sense enough, you educated American young people. You can get pissed off maybe I point it out to you because you're too ignorant too. And your education in America do not enable you people to understand Liberian society. You need a hairstyle program. And that's why I keep telling you, because if you go back home with the mentality you have, you will fail. You will fail. You will fail. Country people don't rule Liberia. Why? Because they still do not understand leadership. They still understand that our country is not unified. The tribes do not care about each other. They care about their tribe. Which tribe you from? You're not from that tribe. You are not considered a part of them. It is not because of Western education or Western laws and all of that that got Liberia to violence. No, it's the tribes have not understand the foundation of unification and integration. And that's why my grandfather was the leader of bringing the tribes to Monrovia. The tribes were never in Monrovia like that. Yeah, they were on the outskirts. They traded in the city and things, but most of them were not in the main city. Everybody came to the city and left and went where they gotta go. Because our city was sacrosanct. Our city used to be clean. I remember when Queen Elizabeth was coming to Liberia, the fire trucks sprayed all the street. Our living on King Johnson Road. I remember that very vividly. I was standing on the street and the fire truck were pushing all up. The people were telling, get off the streets. And they were washing the street because Queen Elizabeth was coming to Liberia. And Tutma wanted to impress the Queen. So they washed all the streets. The streets were washed. You don't believe it? You think we didn't have plenty of streets there, but Monrovia, the small streets we had, Tutma used to wash that thing when the Queen came, Queen Elizabeth. I remember that vividly. I remember that vividly. So we ain't got no road to wash this thing. What kind of road you wash? Huh? All the cars, we got so much cars, our city overpopulated. You can't even clean up nothing. The feces, they can't even move the feces, nowhere to put the feces. Or in the market, they line the feces and the trash with the feces and everything, all by the market, where you go and buy your food. This thing cannot happen under decent and good leadership of governance, of direction, of the revolution, of the true Liberian people. It can't happen. Because when government come in, the first thing you think about, the things that will bring your country and people down. Diseases, sicknesses, rodents, rats, cockroaches, all the things in your house, in the food and things like that. Because we are not clean. Our environment is not clean. Right in Monrovia, we got so many snakes now. In Monrovia, in the sewer and all those kind of things. Our people not safe. We're going back to the 1960s, 1950s. You know, we just living in the modern world with all these buildings, we're building all these buildings, but the foundation of our people's living have not changed. Now let's get into my second lesson. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because Liberia has two societies. We have the Congo society and the native society, even today. And let me tell you why. If you listen to Jenna talking, right? If you listen to Jenna, the funds on the point that judges like Chair Chipo and him are punished by our indigenous legislature. We are punished by our indigenous legislature. You think those people would try that stupidness against a Congo chief justice or associate justice like Banks and other people? You see, he mentioned Banks. He said, oh, the bank was chief justice, he did the same thing. But did he say anybody try to change it or try to impeach him for that? They're stupid. That's the difference between a native and a Congo government. The native legislature will never try that BS with a Congo highly educated judge. They would never try that. But they will try that with their own native people. You know why? Because they don't respect their own tribal native people. They don't. And these are the things I'm bringing to your education. The tribal people do not respect each other, but they will never try things with the Congo people because they know we are the divine leaders of the West African Republic of Liberia. And if you do not come under the leadership of the God blessed few, you have failed time and again. You have failed time and time again because our native people are not together. You poor, you see, they're talking about the man and that the Mandingo judge. He represented Mandingo people. That's not how a country run. Leaders come there to represent certain tribe. No, no. In America, when people go there, I don't even know what state they're from until they say on the TV because we don't think that. Only Donald Trump got thinking like that now. Because before that, nobody thought where the representative where they came from. We know you're a Democrat or a representative at all. We don't care what state you come from. But now, everybody's saying what state you're from, where everything is being like tribalism, going back into this tribal thing. And all of it is based on racism. All of it is based on attempts to destroy and divide the American society. And that's what has been existing in Liberia since 1847. You keep saying the Congo people, the Congo people. Isn't the problem not with the Congo people? The problem is with the different 16 tribes in Liberia that have never come together, have never loved each other, have customs and tribal laws that prevent them from mixing with other tribal groups. They're still dwelling on tribal wars and tribal sentiments from the 1800s, and they can't give it up. That's why killing our Liberian society. Our native people are not part of the mainstream Liberian society. Our native leaders I want their people to stay in tune in nativism because instead of leading our people, the true democratic leaders, they are leading our people on the basis of their tribal sentiments, their tribal religions, their tribal customs, and those behaviors and practices that are not of mainstream Liberian society. So we got two societies in Liberia. When the native legislature in power, they treat their own native people with disgust, with disrespect, with animosity because of their tribal lineages. And Jenna said that, but he did not really touch on the content as he was talking. I was evaluating what he was saying because he touched on banks, how banks did the same thing to issue a writ of prohibition, and nobody said nothing to him. He took it to the full bench. That's where they decided it. But the writ of prohibition was passed, and the act that was being done was stopped until it got to the full bench. And not one Liberian legislature or government feature said BS to banks. Because banks is a conquer educator. But Chipo tried that. Chipo, the man, my brother, who did betray our father, because he country and conquer BS too. You go join the enemies and kill your own pa who raised you. You kill the man and go sit in his seat and you expect God to bless you. That was Chipo could never be anything better in Liberia. The minister was the highest he was going to go be. And that man used to call me all the time to meet me. I told him, no, I don't want to meet you. Because when I was a little boy, living with my aunt, I was playing the day one day and Chipo was passing. I think I was about between 4 and 6. And he was passing. And he stopped and he looked back. He said, you're Chesson, right? You Chesson? I said, yeah. He said, I'm your brother. I'm Joe Chesson. And he shook my hand. And I was happy to see this brother. And I never saw this man again in my life. I never saw him in my life that after the coup, he came back and joined the people to kill our pa and take his place. Then he won't talk to me. You think I will talk to that kind of man? I can't do that. Oh, I told all the people that came to me and told me that people wanted to talk to me so bad. I'm going to go see him. I told him, no. I can't see you. You kill our pa. You sat in his seat. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't hate you. I don't blame you. I don't do nothing. That you and your pa business. I don't want nothing to do with it. My pa and me is on a different level. You and your pa, you kill your pa, you kill our pa. I don't want to deal with you. I'm a Christian. I ain't gonna kill you. I ain't gonna. You and my pa got your own business to sort out, and they sorting in or now. But I wasn't getting into that. No, no, no. I was an outside child. I gotta take care of myself. Yeah, I grew up without my own mother and father taking care of me. So I wasn't no dummy man. I know where I stand in my Liberian society. And I know many people in my society are like me. But you want bullshit. You don't want to stand up for your rights. And the rights is not to fight your family. Your rights is to get the laws of Liberia straight. Then people will not just go around having children and forgetting their children. You know, got foreigners coming, loving to our Liberian women, leaving their children here and running away for us to take care of their children. No, the laws of the Republic of Liberia will protect Liberian children. And this is why I'm trying to teach you that these people don't care about us. My own family don't support me like other people support me. No, that's why you think I would depend on family, Liberian people family. I would depend on your. No, I got my own group, my own friends, my own family. I've been that way all my time. I don't follow people. You offend me, I cut you off. I'd rather suffer than to be under you, who a liar, a deceiver, and perhaps a would-be killer. That's how my grandfather died. He loved his people. He loved Liberian people. And what kind of thanks they gave him? They poisoned him and erased it from Liberia history. And they expect me not to tell the truth. They expect Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson not to stand on the foundation of my Christian faith and not be scared of you wicked people and not turn another cheek because I've turned enough cheeks. It's time for me to use my military boots to see who's going to get that of the bunga because I ain't taking that from native country, all of the Congo, America. I ain't taking that from none of you. My foundation is the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Liberia because ain't nobody going to step over me in my country no more because of family, useless family, because of relatives, because they say and you say and I say, it ain't going to happen. The only thing that protect us bastards and the rest of us that the foreigners have come and betrayed, and our people let them do it to us. All us bastards got to stand up together. We plenty in Liberia. And the only way we can protect ourselves is to rely on the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Liberia and let Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson come back and set the foundation right that our rights, pride, and dignities will be respected among all Liberians. And I ain't joking. I'm not a man to joke. I don't like to see for people. I try not to deceive people either. Because do unto others as you will have them do unto you. That when people ask me for something I can't do, I say no. I tell you straight out. You can like me or you can hate me. Especially things I fight for, things that are mine, and you want to use it, and you want to tell me how to let you use my stuff, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Shalamata alapopo. That's my language. I don't know what you mean. But it ain't gonna happen. Okay? So let's get our SHIT together. Okay? Now, there are reasons why our Congo people different from our indigenous people. And our legislature will never touch a Congo man, educated man, but they will never hesitate to go after their own indigenous people and almost want to destroy them. Why? Because they are divided. We have 16 people that are divided against each other. They don't know it. It's mental. But people from the outside looking in will tell you, you hate each other. Because you treat people the same way. You treat gender the same way. Who the next man you're going to treat like that? I'm sure there are other people, our indigenous people are treated the same way from different tribes. But they think if it doesn't stop, you will not have a United Nation. You will always be enslaved by other people. And the Congo people are not going away. That's our country. Whether you like it or not, we're not going away. We're coming back to take over our country. And we're coming back with a new Americos. But my only point there, they got to be trained so they don't mistreat you like the other Americans came. But they didn't mistreat you, they had to fight against you. We had to fight against you because it was a battle of the will and the battle to build one nation and one people. And we're still fighting that battle today. But the young children who coming home to Liberia, who you think tribal and native, they're not. The American people, they're not coming home to live the life you want them to live. And that's why they don't want diaspora Liberians to come home. We are Europeans, we are Americans, we are Asians, we are everybody, and we're coming home. You all can't stop it. The new age of Liberian people coming to change Liberia, and I will be in the vanguard to teach, direct, and lead them to the right leadership of our people, so that in the future our country will change. I'm pissed off with what happened in my country. But if I come with revenge and all those kind of things, my country will never grow. We'll still fighting each other. It's not in the best interest of my country and my people. Because I am a lineage, or from the lineage of Benjamin Green Freeman. I am a leader of Liberian people, indigenous people, Congo people, Americo people. I'm a leader of Liberian people. And they will not kill me like they killed my grandfather, because I'm coming under the banner of Jesus Christ and no other gods. I don't know about my grandfather. I don't know who his God was. I don't know what his practices were. But I believe in his philosophy of unification and integration of the Liberian people. And that was why I came on this earth, to unite my people. And whether you're lucky or not, I am your damn attorney commander. And you better follow me, or we ain't going nowhere. The time of the Liberian people is now. Let me get in my last lesson. Justice, equality, rules. I can't stress this anymore. This is what I've been stressing all along. Only one group of people enjoying. Among the Congo and the country, in the America, there's only one group of people enjoying. Right now, that Ellen Johnson and her natives, and her warlords and natives, because she brought them to power. 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 So what can we say? The old man herself brought the people to power. These are people of a legacy. They're right here. That's our choice. So tell me now, what kind of justice, equality, and rule of law can we have in Liberia from a high school student? Not even a graduate. The man is still a high school student. He can't even read nor write. All he does is play football, and that's his area. So how you bring this man from his area into court suit? Look at his teeth. He can't even clean his teeth good. No, you bring this man into prominence to lead our country out of your mess. This is my Ellen choice. And this is what we're living with, my people. This, the suffering we honor. But before I leave, I told you I had something for you to listen to show how our country is so corrupt and our leaders have no sympathy, empathy, or love for the Liberian people. All the spew out to us is nothing but lies. But God has blessed us now. Our young people coming to their senses. Our young people listening to the lies and saying, no, no, no. You radio people, you broadcast people cannot continue to spread the lies of this administration and knowing that our people are being betrayed. And that's why we must rise. That's why we are thankful for people like Bali and his radio station and Volcano Shelter who coming up and connecting Liberia with America and spreading the word to our people. Now you touch those people. You touch those people. We got the American side and the Liberian side coordinated and working together. And that's how our country is supposed to be. That's the only way we'll survive. That's the only way we build our country fast. The resources are here, and the people in Liberia try to stop us from reaching to our people and telling you the truth that they are rogues, they are murderers, and they are native liars. And we cannot dwell under this process of nativism and tribalism that deceive the masses of our people, million people. You get mad with me because I said native and all of that. You better get out of that stupidness. Because these people are using the position to betray our tribal people to thinking and believing that they are doing something for our country. And we keep playing under this tribal shadow and things. Say our brother and our sister. No, they are rogues and murderers, and they must be brought to light, just as I would bring my people to light. Because it's not right for our country. Now you're listening to this. Hold on a minute. Let me just bring.
So many things that we need to make the citizens of one county to know about. So there's things I think they need to know. Richard for if you don't mind, you know, county health thing.
Oh Lord.
So many things. So I think I was
My amplifier fell on the floor now to connect this thing. It was soon connect.
This one Saturday, the WSP go appear in the studio. Someone catch when she said the bunker they have thing.
Yeah, excuse me.
We need to make the citizens of one county to know that about. So there's things I think they need to know. Richard for if you don't mind, you know, county health thing. So many things. So I think our citizens need to know these things so they can be aware. So you talk about this time election, can we know? This one Saturday, the WSP go appear in the studio. Someone catch when she said the bunker they have a budget of $1.4 million. I don't know, maybe he have his personal budget I'm talking about. But bunker they have to go in the budget for 2021 have a budget of $400,000 United States.
Okay, let me bring my computer up. Let me start this again, please. Please bear with me.
It's honest to the people of Bone County. So many things that we need to make the citizens of Bone County to know that about. So there's things I think they need to know. Richard for if you don't mind, you know, county health thing. So many things. So I think our citizens need to know these things so they can be their way. So you talk about this tabulation, can we know? This one Saturday, the WSP go appear in the studio. Someone catch when she said the bunker they have a budget of $1.4 million. I don't know, maybe he have his personal budget I'm talking about. Bunker they have to go in the budget for 2021 have a budget of $400,000 United States dollars. So I feel that even this layout is not be following the activity. So we need to give clarity to But why you think that just because we say the country everything has it's not street. He went to Belém, we told the people say Jonah is selling the drugs. He and around Mr. Jonah no need to by selling the drugs for the country. No, that's an allegation. It's not an allegation. I went Belém last night and the people are waiting to come on the radio and say. So if people have taken pleasures in being, misleading the people of Bon County, there is an issue. So the deputy speaker who we expect a lot of people, he has become a storyteller, somebody that lies. So it's not like no other.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. I hope you heard it well. My amplifier dropped and it got disconnected. So these are all the things I'm going through. I need cash. This is why I need cash, because I can't keep spending my own cash and my Liberian people because of who I am and the message I'm spreading. Y'all won't get mean and jealous and evil. But y'all keep on that trend. Y'all keep on that trend. Y'all don't want to learn. Y'all think y'all know Liberian history. I heard one brother, Ansaki, last night, my Gola brother, talking about why Liberia is a Negro nation, because the black people came and felt that they wanted to stop other people from taking their country, so they did all that. That's a native lie. You native people better learn your history. Liberia was founded for the children of the white masters. Liberia was founded for the children of the white masters, for mulattoes. That's why when they came to Liberia, they had their Republican Party after their white fathers. And if your skin was not as brown as a brown paper bag, you could not serve in the Liberian government of the Congo people who were Republicans. That's why E.J. Roy, Edward Wilmer Blyden, and all the black patriots of Liberia formed the True Whig Party. And the True Whig Party became the party of the masses of people who believe that Liberia was founded for all free men. Because the white people could not tell their wives and the American society that they were founding Liberia for their mulatto children. So they told them that Liberia was being founded for freed slaves. And most of the free slaves then were mulattoes. So that's why they protected the children. And y'all weren't going to touch Liberia because we're still their children. So y'all better be mindful of why Liberia was founded. And black people did not put that clause in the Liberian Constitution. Our Constitution was written at Cornell University. And the white people who wrote our Constitution and knew why Liberia was founded put that in our Constitution to protect us from their own brothers and sisters who did not care whether we're free or not, but we had come back to enslave us. So you Liberian people and you native people, you better understand your history or you will be enslaved. We will not be enslaved at our country. We are Americans. We will assert our rights as Americans. Even though the white people don't want to recognize the people that Donald Trump them, they can't change it because we are a part and parcel of American legacy, history, and dynamism. We are Americans. And you people in Liberia better understand that. Better understand that. And all Liberians who have come to America and attained American citizenship and American-born children are the owners of Liberia. So you can't touch your own children now. We are Americans, the new breed of Liberian Americans. And you people have to cease and desist with your ignorance because of your lack of reading and learning through education. You can't just continue to hear things or just guess from circumstances. Oh, these people, they put that in their constitution because they wanted to keep other people out. I've heard Liberians in Rhode Island telling white people that Liberia was named, Providence Island was named in Providence Island because of Providence, Rhode Island. That was the most disgusting thing I ever heard. And the white people know better. And they were just looking at them Spanish and look at the idiots. They don't even know their own history. We know your own history than yourselves because it's in the books. The white people who founded Liberia wrote it in a book. The first newspaper from Liberia, the Liberian Herald, is in Rhode Island. A copy is in the Rhode Island special session of the library. You're not finding it among the book. You got to ask the people to see it because it's so old. They don't want people to see it in a glass. You can't touch it. You can't touch the glass. You can't take picture. Nothing. That's how old it is. They don't want it to crumble. So they preserve it, especially where air can't touch it. Because oxidation and all of that causes rust and decay and all of that. So in a special glass where nothing is touching. Because the people preserve what they do. So us Africans who lie and steal, and because we're ignorant or uneducated, we can't make up shit to deceive civilized Liberians like you ought to do to our indigenous people. And my indigenous people, that way you got to learn. You got to rise up from the edges of tribalism, from nativism, from ignorance and disease and poverty, and learn your history. Because by doing that, these ignorant, useless people that George Weah, Toya, and all of them from the ghetto cannot come up and spew deceit, lies, and uselessness to you. The time of the Liberian people is now. Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson of the West African Republic of Liberia's class is done. Think, my people. Think. Look in the mirror. Don't be mad at Chesson. I'm only the teacher. And sometimes the teacher can get mad because if the students still letting one thing go in the ear and come out the ear, other ear, or they're too lazy, they can hear things, but they can't remember, that's a problem. Get your acts together. The time of the Liberian people is now. Aluta! Continue. Have a good day.